Hello, Dang Salamat Dag Tang King Beyond the Ball. Or as they
was
say
that you
in
said there,
English.
Collie?
I said it quick enough, so hopefully it made sense. So that is a big hello to everybody in Malaysia that's listening, because we got to number 2 in Malaysia, Paddy, for some reason, and we stayed there for ages.
Wow.
Now we're after dropping a little bit to 9th there, but that was just a little.
And they have a population of over 7 million.
30 million, isn't it?
Oh, 30 million, yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Jeez, Paddy. Well, they're selling ourselves there. You're thinking of Ireland.
And seeing as we're going multicultural now, I'll say hello to our French colleagues. So, hello, my name is Patrick, and welcome to the show. So that's my French.
Nice, yeah, that was good. Nice. I won't do any German because we might get banned. So, Paddy, we're going to be looking back at the weekend fixtures. As we can tell, there's one person missing. Oh, what an absolute snake. We're missing the one thing we really needed for this week.
And where is he?
He was a Liverpool fan. And he's over in the gas chambers in Auschwitz.
He'd rather be over there than watch Liverpool on the telly.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. So, yeah, now in fairness, Conor is actually over in Auschwitz. I don't know what else to say. It sounds like I'm like hanging him to dry there, but he is actually over in Auschwitz at the chambers. So we're gonna miss Conor this week because Paddy, Liverpool lost yet again. Liverpool are in the mud. Klopp is getting sacked. That's what I think.
It has to be. It's not a Liverpool appreciation night. It's a Liverpool depreciation night. Because
I agree.
My God, they've been so bad. The Klopp syndrome. This was a 7-season syndrome, something like that.
Yeah. 6.
Something's very weird going on. Bigging up Trent the weekend. After a minute, he gives away a goal, then gets injured. One of his own players kicked him to get him off the pitch. I heard.
Yeah, he's a joker. Conor did shout 3-2 to Arsenal last week with a Martinelli goal, and did say that Martinelli was going to cause Trent serious issues down the wing, and he was spot on. So fair play to Conor. Paddy, I suppose we won't dick around. We're going to jump in. We have a few bits of news and stuff like that to cover as well. So we're going to jump straight into our football review. Paddy, I did say that I was a time traveler, and I did say I was guaranteeing it was going to be 3-1 to Chelsea, but unfortunately I was a little bit wrong. We didn't actually concede.
It was in a different dimension.
It was. I think that's what it was. So we won 3-0. Again, a convincing win. I did always say that Potter was a great manager. Never doubted him.
Magic.
So at the moment, I'm happy that we're getting results.
3 scorers.
3 different scorers. But it's hard to still, for me, get a little bit excited about Chelsea. So I need to give it a while and see how it plays out. But yeah, overall, happy with Chelsea, how they done. It was nice to see Diego Costa getting a really good reception from the Chelsea fans.
No, it wasn't. He's a scumbag.
He's an absolute legend. He's an absolute legend, and you know it. He's a fucking nut job.
Nut job, yeah. Should be in the UFC or something.
So I was looking forward to seeing how him and Thiago would get on, but it wasn't much really happening. Delighted for Chelsea to get the win. Not conceding. Great to see. Brought Kepa in as my goalkeeper in the fancy football. So tactical genius, some would say. Paddy, what did you make of Chelsea? Have you been impressed so far? Of course, I've been putting a bit of a downer on it because Tuchel got sacked and Potter came in. But when you actually look at our league position, it's not too bad. Like,
and argue with it. You cannot argue with that league position. Considering the start he had as well, I think everyone kind of held their breath and thought, "Oh, it's not going to be a good move." But he has the players playing for him. They're playing good football. Watching this, we're doing a watch along here for the Chelsea game as well as we're talking here. So I'm hoping secretly that AC Milan win, but This is a
I'm
shit
not.
competition. And anyway, I only care about the Europa League and anyway because this is shit. But yeah, Chelsea, they seem to be doing very well, picking up points. We have yous now next week. United Chelsea next week, isn't it?
Well, you have City this week coming, or this weekend coming. Or sorry, yeah, Newcastle this weekend.
Oh, we have Newcastle, yeah, and then we have Tottenham and Chelsea over the following week. That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
You still have to, I suppose. Have you beaten anyone big since Potter came in?
Not really. Like AC Milan, I suppose you call them big. Like we beat AC Milan.
Yeah, it's a good Champions League game.
Suppose.
Yeah. How are you feeling as a Chelsea supporter? I know you can't hang on. Don't sit on the fence.
No, I'm not sitting on the fence because I did say when Tuchel was sacked and Potter came in, I didn't get excited. It didn't excite me. I wasn't like, oh, brilliant, this is going to be a future Chelsea. This is going to be great. This is going to be blah, blah, blah. I kind of said, this is a bit shit, isn't it? Like, I was kind of a little bit deflated that we had sacked Tuchel and took a step back. Now, I've seen a lot of stuff online and I talked to a lot of people online. The majority of English people were backing Potter, obviously because he's English. I mean, it makes sense because they want one of their own. Similar situation to bleeding Stephen Kenny here. One of their own doing well. But for me, I don't give a shit if he's English, French, African, Nigerian, whatever he is. African's not country, but whatever. I don't care where they're from once they can get the team to win, and that's all I care about. So for me, for someone to say to me, "Oh, but he's an English coach," my response to that is I couldn't give a bollocks where he's from. He hadn't managed in a top club. He hadn't handled any big, massive personalities, I don't think. And this is his first test, and this is his real test. So look, it's going well so far. Yeah, I mean, I'm on board. Look, Paddy, you know as well as I did, I was never not going to support Chelsea, but it's kind of this thing where I felt like I was going to fucking slate him off. Like, if he give me an inch, and I was going to run a mile with it, because of how cutthroat Chelsea were with sacking Tuchel. So I'm happy with how Chelsea are going, but I will be absolutely fucking grabbing Potter by the bollocks if he makes a fuck up. So
at least have
that's why
Villa, then Brentford, and then United in the next 3 games. So you would be expecting to pick up 6 points at least there.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine at least 6 points. Paddy, we'll move off Chelsea then. We'll move on to the calamity. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Now, we did say at the start of the pod that Conor had called 3-2 to Arsenal. A great show. Called the goal scorer as well, and did call the fact that Martinelli was going to absolutely roast Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has, for the last couple of weeks, been found out that he is a fraction. Oh, sorry, he's down just in on the box there. A fraction of the player. Yeah, but he's a fraction of the player that people actually give him credit to be, I think. And the audacity of people to even try compare him to Reece James is an absolute shambles.
We're bored of this conversation now. Yeah, okay. Fucking hell.
You know this and you know it. But I need something. Do you know what I'm going to do, Paddy? I'm going to put an open invite to anybody on the. I might do it next week. Anybody on the podcast that follows the page, I'm going to put the link on the page where they can join in, and I'm going to let them say whatever they want to say. What do you think? It's a bit risky.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
I mean, it seems like nothing could go wrong there. Like, so I might look into that. We'll have a chat, me, yourself, and Conor after the pod, maybe, and see what we really think about that one, because I'd love to do that. Get someone in that's going to be passionate.
Put a disclaimer on before we start.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably put a warning on every podcast before we start, because we don't know what road it's going to go down. So yeah, I don't know. So how did you watch the match for one, Paddy?
Yes, I did. I was at
What did you make of it?
And I got to go into the bar next door, and I was sitting with an Arsenal fan and a load of Liverpool fans, and it was heaven. It was great. It was lovely, I have to say. Oh, they're miserable. They're all starting to go back under their rock now that they were there for 20 years. Now they're after coming back, and now they're going back in. Trent, shocker. Like, I literally said it in the pub, and they were all laughing all about, like, I think it was one of Liverpool's players that actually kicked him to injure him. Luis Diaz injured now as well, out till December. Best player of the season so far.
It's out till December?
December, yeah.
Jesus, didn't know that.
Yeah. Big loss. I just don't see how they're going to turn it around, because I didn't see a lot from that game that would really, give you a lot of confidence. Nunes scored. The defense looks so shaky. The midfield, they don't look like they have the legs to last 90 minutes. Arsenal, though, give them credit where it's due. They just keep on pulling out these results. They done it against Spurs, where we thought Spurs were going to beat them. Well, I think on the consensus on this podcast was that Spurs were going to beat them. I think everybody thought, Liverpool have a very good chance, but they keep on answering the critics. They're still top of the table. Even Pep tried to put a bit of pressure on them before the game, saying, no, they're the best team in the league. They have more points than us. And you could tell there was a little bit of mind games there.
Definitely. Arteta would know well exactly what Pep is doing there. After working under him so long, he knows exactly what's going on there. Like, the only thing he can really say there is he needs to just silence that and shut that down straight away with his players. Like, keep them focused, because that can play. It is something very similar, but when you actually watch the likes of the documentaries, the All or Nothing documentaries, them players see absolutely everything that's said. And you know the way, like, they come out and they act professional and they say, no, look, we're concentrated on the game, we're doing this, we're doing that. They are 100% well involved in what's going on in that news. So for Pep to come out and say something like that, that definitely, I think, can play something in their head. Like,
yeah. Well, this is what the mind games are all about. Like, they know well that there's things, and someone of the stature of Pep saying something like that, you do start thinking to yourself, are we the best in the league? Are we not?
Yeah.
You really need to be strong mentally. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, it was great. It was great to watch, because I just thought our Arsenal were the far better team, to be honest. It's just great seeing Liverpool struggle, and just their ridiculous fans going back into their little box and cowering in the corners and keeping quiet. It's great. It's great to see.
It is so clean now.
Yeah. I feel like some priest has come and just like blessed me feed. So
Liverpool fans.
But Paddy, I suppose we do have to talk about now. We can be our anti-Liverpool selves and we can jump down the throat straight away. But what's your honest opinion of Klopp at the moment? And like, do you think he's actually under pressure?
He has to be. Someone said, I think if results go against them this weekend and they lose, they could be down to like 16th or something like that.
It's their worst start in 10 years.
Yeah, like if you look at what's 8 games, 10 points, that's a shocking return. A shocking return. Considering where they were, like they were last year, they were being talked about as the best team in the world, even with City winning the league. And I think that really rubbed City up the wrong way, because they were still being called the best team in the country, and City had won the league, and City were like, oh, what the hell? Like, what do we have to do here? But I've no idea what's after happening. Like what we can talk about injuries all we want, but for the majority of the team to just their form to fall off a cliff, even Salah now doesn't look
Salah.
Like
so he was one I was going to bring up, and it was a similar thing that I think we saw with the likes of Aubameyang, where Salah's got his big multi-million-pound contract, and all of a sudden it's as if he's down tools and he doesn't look arsed. I think he got whipped off. I can't remember what minute it was, but even him sitting on the bench, he just looked disinterested, and he didn't look like he was fucking bothered by what was going on. But they just seemed like a completely different team. We obviously, there was a few incidents in the match that we'll touch on later in the news section. But the midfield for them, Henderson and Thiago, they need a serious strengthening, I think, in December. Like, fair enough, Thiago's not bad when he's on the ball, but keeping him injury free is a massive problem for them. And even Henderson and Fabinho, they're just getting older.
Red card?
They're really struggling. What?
Red card for the AC Milan.
Is this a pen? Is this a pen?
Yeah.
Giroud is a gorgeous looking bastard, isn't he?
No.
Oh my God, we've got it. Tamari. Oh my God, it was Tamari that got sent off.
No, it's today.
Ex-Chelsea.
Not today. Right, anyway,
Tamari
sorry.
doing us a favour. Hold on, here we go. Here's the replay. Mason absolutely molesting him.
Red
That's
card, though, for that. Red card.
Soft red card. It's probably a pen, but a red card's a little bit harsh, I think.
Yeah, Peno, probably not red card. No way is that a red card.
So I was only looking up this rule last week or the week before, and the rule states that if you make a genuine intent, so this is actually the correct call from the ref, because the rule only states unless you make a genuine attempt to go for the ball and like by stopping it, like so in other words, a tackle, that's a red card because he hasn't gone for the ball and he's just blatantly pulled them down to stop a goal scoring opportunity. So I was only reading this the other day because there was another soft red card.
You need to get a life what you're reading this shit for.
No, I got through the FA rule. I believe it was an argument I was having with somebody on TikTok, which isn't like me, is it? So like if these are all complaining about the actual rule where like you get a red card with the thing, he's after calling it right because he hasn't gone for the ball. So it's a pen and a red card, unfortunately, for Tamari, who I always rate as I think he was one of Chelsea's biggest mistakes getting rid of him. I actually thought he's a really good defender. And so not so much now, but
maybe it was their grand master plan. They knew when they sold him he was going to get a red card here and give away a penalty.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Oh, so we've got a pen for Chelsea. It's dragging out here. So so Liverpool are going to have to strengthen up, I think.
Paddy,
Klopp,
let's go back to the opinions on Klopp.
Yeah. So
what do you think? Honestly, let's take the biased hats off. Let's put our Monday Night Football heads on. Your card,
right? So this is my honest opinion on the situation with Jurgen Klopp, right?
Yeah,
he's got rid of Mane, who I think he probably thought wasn't going to be as big as a loss as he thought. Maybe with Diaz coming in, and although Diaz was playing alongside him and obviously on the opposite side or whatever, but I think he thought that he probably could have got away with it. Now, look, at the end of the day, Mane probably made his decision up and said, right, fuck this, I'm going. Sorry, why is Mount getting booked? Oh my God. Sorry, I'm finding it hard to concentrate now because Chelsea are about to take penalty.
Go on, you go. I'll give my opinion first, am I?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I'm similar to what you were saying there. If you look at Mane leaving the club, you don't see many of the that's playing consistently and was one of the stars of the team leaving one of the best teams in the world if they're happy under the manager. Now, it seemed like Mane was dreadfully unhappy at Liverpool. No stories have come out, but he was dying to get out there. And Salah wouldn't have been too unhappy to leave either if he hadn't got his big money move. So it makes me think, here we go. Because he what Klopp has done there has made a team of slightly above average players play way above their standard.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that, shut up. Sorry.
Is that just Google reading out what to say, is it?
No. Yeah. No, he's one of the. Can he handle the big stars? And when they become a big star, he lost his biggest stars when he was at Dortmund. He's after building a team of world-class players now at Liverpool, and things just don't seem to be working out. Look, this is just a theory. Theories are there to be spoken about and taken apart, but there's something fundamentally going wrong now at Liverpool Football Club, and I don't think any Liverpool fan could put their finger on it. But there must be something going on in the background.
I honestly think there's a massive lack of squad depth, and I think we touched on it last week when we were talking to Connor. For instance, Trent Alexander-Arnold, that right back, where he's been performing way below. I know we keep going back to Trent, but it's only because he gets talked about being so good. He's been really struggling, and every single Liverpool fan always goes, "Oh, he should be playing in midfield. His passing range is unbelievable," but yet there's no way to move him into midfield because they don't have a covering right back. Now they are getting, I can't remember his fucking name, the right back, the young lad, coming back for them. into right back. But I don't think they're going to do that as an option. I don't think that's going to be an option for him. So I think there's a severe lack of depth in that squad. I think.
Why aren't they signing players?
I don't know. And you know what? Like, we have to look at it because they did sign players, Paddy. They did sign Nunez. They did sign Diaz. Yeah. Now let's call a spade a spade. Nunez is an absolute fucking donkey. Diaz is a lot better than I think everybody thought he was going to be, including probably Klopp. They signed that guy. What's his fucking name?
Juventus.
Yeah, and there's rumors of them wanting to sign him already.
He's injured now. He's out for 3 months.
Right, so they can't even do that. So they signed him, and then they wanted to sell him straight away because they obviously said, right, this fella's not up to fucking scratch. So we can't 100% say they're not signing players because it's not 100% true. They are signing players. I just think Nunez, they put all their eggs in one basket with him.
But all during the summer, all you kept on hearing was, we'll only sign the right players. But they're not, as you said, they're not covering the positions they need to cover. Yeah.
The massive gap for them, like I said, is midfield at the moment, and they done absolutely zero to cover that. So,
look, any other supporter in the league, like Liverpool could say, well, look at United, look at this, look at that. But if you look at any manager that's been managing a team, say, look at Pep at City and the amount of cover he has at every position. Klopp has been at the club 7 years now. He should have been planning for all eventualities with his squad. You need backup for every single position there, and he just doesn't.
Yeah. Just if anybody's watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you might be watching, just make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment. You can send a comment in to us if you want. If you have an opinion on something, we'll read it out. We'll give you a response, give you our opinion on it. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe and follow as well. But Paddy, what is the likelihood you think of Klopp actually getting sacked?
See where they are when it comes around to the World Cup. This season, I don't see it, but you see, it's going to work two ways, because what might happen is it might come to the end of the season, and if he's not backed in the transfer market, or it seems like the owners are kind of saying, well, we'll hang on till the start of next season. We can't really sack him now because the fans, there'll be uproar. Yeah. But if Klopp's not getting the backing, then he might push to be sacked. He might aggravate to be sacked because he doesn't want to leave the club because he won't get his contract paid out then. So he'll want to get sacked to get paid out.
So you reckon he'll come out and do something similar to, who was it that done it?
Well, Rodgers
someone done it recently. Someone done it recently, and they said that they weren't being backed in the window, and then they got sacked. I can't remember who it was.
It was Bournemouth, wasn't it? Not Bournemouth. Steve.
Oh, was it Scott Parker? Was it Scott Parker?
Scott Parker.
It was Scott Parker. Yeah. So I think, could go down the lines of that. I think he's probably done too much for them over the last couple of years to sack him. I do think that if you were ever to see Klopp being sacked, it'll be 100% the thing where there's mutual consent there, and just for both parties, it seems the right thing to do or whatever. That's what I think we'll see. I don't think he's going to get sacked, although I'd love to see it because absolute content if he gets sacked. I don't see it happening really, to be honest.
Can you remember what Champions League final last year? If they don't make the Champions League this year and they're back in the Europa League or the Conference League next season, have you ever seen such a fall from grace?
I know. And talk about you're fucking back down to earth, because the quadruple was literally, the last 4 or 5 weeks in the season was still on their mind. Yeah. And now all of a sudden struggling for fourth. And people laughed at me. When I done me predictions. I done it on TikTok. And I said, I said City were going to dominate the league. I said Spurs were going to finish second. And I said, oh, Jesus. Oh, fucking hell. Drew's Mr. Sitter, the ex-Chelsea players really helping us out. I said Chelsea were going to finish third, and I said Liverpool were going to finish fourth. People laughed at me at that, and then said, "You're delusional. You haven't got a clue about football." But that's Klopp there. He's after being sacked. But that's what he's saying, and that's what he saw with Mane leaving and Nunez. I didn't rate Nunez anyway, so I was calling a fucking spade a spade there. I was just saying, called what I saw, and it seems to be happening. So we will see at the end of the season. They may prove us all wrong and go on a massive run and become unbeaten, but I really don't see it. I really think they're going to struggle.
They're one of the easiest teams to play against defensively at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Van Dijk's been off the boil as well. Paddy, I think we'll move
Arsenal
on
absolutely
from.
exploited in the weekend.
Sorry, we're not even really talking about Arsenal, but like we did kind of touch on it a little bit, but like we spoke a little bit about their credentials last week about winning the league. This has surely submitted it completely that they're title contenders now.
I was a season too late. I thought last season they hadn't got a Europa League, the COVID season, that they were really going to come good.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling Arteta was going to do something good at the club. Did I see them now challenging as the way they are now? Absolutely not. But fair play to them. They've signed well. Jesus, Odegaard, Megan Odegaard, captain. Some brave decisions he's made, and they seem to all be paying
captain,
off.
Paddy. It's a weird. I think that's a weird one. Odegaard as captain.
It
doesn't seem very vocal or anything like that. And looking at that All or Nothing documentary, he was probably one of the quietest in the dressing room.
But let's look at what Aubameyang said during the week about Arteta wanting a bunch of young kids because they won't stand up to him.
Yeah,
maybe he wants a captain that he can control, but that can control things on the pitch. I don't know. He obviously picked them for a reason that we don't know about. And it seems to be working because they're playing some beautiful football. They're getting some great results.
Yeah.
And boys still can't look past City for the league. Oh, no, United actually, sorry, and then City second.
Jesus, that's a red card. That's a red card. Oh, that's a yellow. Fucking hell. That could have been a red card there for Sterling. That looked very that looked too full. He kind of went over the ball and then he fucking kicked your man in the face. Paddy, we're going to move off Liverpool for now on Arsenal. We will be chatting a little bit about Liverpool in a while anyway. On to something you'll be delighted to see.
Yeah.
Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Paddy, tell me how you felt during this game. Look at that.
After 5 minutes, I was like, oh, shit. But even then, like, I was looking at the game and we're playing well. You know, one thing I'm seeing a lot of with United now is one touch, crisp pass, no more doddering on the ball. Like, they're playing good football. And if you look at the start of this season, last season, it was all 2-3 touch football and nobody was confident on the ball. Everyone kept on losing the ball. Casemiro, I think got a lesson for that first goal. He got away with it because he got the assist and then he had a decent game afterwards. But I think he realizes that maybe in La Liga you can saunter on the ball every now and again.
Yeah, you
cannot do it in the Premier League. You cannot do it. But I do think he's going to be a great signing for us. I think he really shores up the midfield. Him and Ericsson, I like the look of it. Fernandez there. P.E. Martial went off injured again. It is a concern.
Yeah,
he's getting injured an awful lot. Now, it was a back when it wasn't the Achilles like the last injury he had, but Ronaldo comes on, gets a 700 goal. Good to see. So
must be a massive boost for him and for the United fans, I suppose, to see Ronaldo actually coming on and being involved in a goal. He may not have had his best game anyway, but you know what I mean. He was. You can still see he's trying hard, but apparently he's very good with the younger lads, which is always a thing that I thought Alex Ferguson done really well. Was he always had them experienced players around, and it was almost as if they learned by just watching somebody who was setting a standard.
Absolutely, and say like the Nevilles and the Scholes, they'll talk about how they had the players there above them to show them the way. They didn't win. Like when they said kids won the league, they didn't win the league. It was the people that, you know, were watching their back, the Bruces, the Cantonas, the Ewas that were looking after them then. And Ronaldo was doing it on his own here. I think Fernandez as captain is doing a great job, and I think he should get the armband full time.
Do you think he's after stepping up big time now that Ronaldo not so much stepped away or like pulled back a little bit, but got taken out of the team? And it was almost like Fernandez was it was like he was playing with his idol and he just always wanted to give the ball to Ronaldo. And it would make him less of a player because he was so fixated on trying to do one thing and getting the ball to Ronaldo. Now people are still doing it, but not as much as it affected Fernandez. He seems a different animal this year with that captain's armband and Maguire out of the team and Ronaldo out of the team.
And I think it was telling in the Everton game that you had Ronaldo ruining a couple of chances for Fernandez. I don't know if you watched the game, but
overhitting a lot of them, wasn't he?
Yeah, but like Fernandez is called for the ball. There was one instance in particular near the end of the game where it was coming over, it was going to land on Fernandez's head. He was going to knock it in, but Ronaldo jumped and missed the ball and put him off. And he was like, I called him for you. And Ronaldo was like, oh, I'm sorry. But there was a couple of instances like that where I think Ten Hag will kind of look and kind of say, well, you know, if Ronaldo was banging in 3 goals, I'd say, okay, I'll leave it. But he probably took 2 goals from Fernandez there. So does the benefit outweigh the bad? I'd like to make an honourable mention for Anthony. 3 goals, 3 games. First United signing to ever do that.
Is he?
Ever, yeah.
That's mad.
3 goals in the first 3 games. Yeah, there's a stat for you.
That's crazy. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
I would have thought like Van Nistelrooy or something would have done it, or fucking even Louis Saha, or just one of them players that you just kind of, they kind of just go on, get in 2-0. Aubameyang, baby. He needs to sort that jump out because he overshoots it every time, or else he undershoots it. He needs to sort that. He's gonna fuck his knees.
His choppers will get caught in the grass one time, and he won't be able to get out.
Fucking face plant the ground and fucking teeth full of grass. Fucking hell. I love to see that an AC Milan fan right beside the Chelsea fan. The Chelsea fan with the scarf in here. Yeah, great goal. Look, power, class. Always said it. Right, Paddy, I think we'll move off United for now because we're a good 30 minutes in and we need to get through a few other bits. So, Paddy, we're going to have a quick look at the fantasy football from this week. Right, Paddy, do you want me to go through my first?
Can you show both of ours there and I'll talk through it? Just
I can show mine and then I can go back. I can
on
go
the league,
yours, right, so I'm going to pull this up. So if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, it would be probably better to jump onto the YouTube channel. So, Paddy, I started off with 61 points this week. Didn't start
average
off with
58, so above average.
Yeah, 58 average. So happy with that. I brought Kepa in. I was saying it to the lads in work. Kepa is a steal at 4.4 million at the moment. Reason being is I was able to also bring in Ward, who was also like 4.2 or 4.3 or something like that. And he is Leicester's starting goalkeeper. So even if Kepa gets dropped, Kepa?
No, Ward.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, he hasn't been very good. There's a reason they're bottom of the league. So yeah, I got six points for Kepa. So delighted with that. Bourne, unfortunately, only got me 2. 2 for Zuma, 2 for Dallo. So struggling at the back there, to be honest. I brought Louis Saha in and he got 5 points for me. So happy with that. Rashford, only the 2 points for Rashford. Disappointing, but it wasn't really a week where I expected him to score a lot of goals. I'm planning that one for the next couple of weeks. So Kevin De Bruyne, 6 points. Martinelli, 12 points. Quality performance from him. Brought Harry Kane in as well. 7 points. By the way, I used my wild card. So
very good.
Wild card has been used. 7 points for Kane, 5 for Jesus, and Haaland as captain, 6 points, but doubled to 12. And then I had Pereira on the bench. Didn't think he was going to score, but he did score because that's what he's been doing this season. Have Saliba and then Tarkowski on the bench, so not much happening on the bench other than Pereira. I'll bring your one up here. We'll have a quick look while we're jumping across. Oh, Paddy, 82 points. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Board. All right. Well, just a quick look at the league while we're there. I only got 1 more point than Connor did. So Connor got 60, 418. Actually, we'll have a quick look at Connor's team just to see. So 2 above average. So he has Martinez in goal, Saliba, Cancelo at the back, 18 points. Very good. Cucurella, 7 points. Didn't think he'd actually start, but he did. He's got Grob. He's got Luis Diaz as captain, 6 points for him. You'll have to make a sub because he is gone.
Transfer
De Bruyne. Yeah, big time. De Bruyne, Rashford, Haaland, Jesus, and Ivan Toney. And then you had Murphy on the bench who got 8 points, but you just get them. Right, Paddy, onto your own team there if you want to walk me through it.
Yes, so Ederson in goal, Trippier, Cancelo, and Schär.
Sorry, whoa. Think we're missing something very important here, Paddy.
Oh, triple cap.
Triple cap.
Yeah.
Kept that one quiet.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
Haaland.
Not a great week.
And he didn't get the goal until near the end. I was cursing him until he got the goal. But look, it's still 80 points is 80 points. I'll take it.
beggars can't be choosers.
Martinelli 12, Son 6, Rashford 2 wasn't great. And then Jesus, Martial, and Haaland up front. I did make a couple of changes this week. I suppose you'll see them next week. But yeah, so I've a more rounded squad now. Better bench.
It was a very good week for you, Paddy. Congratulations. Good. Cancelo being a massive one. Ederson obviously getting 6 in goal as well. And Trippier getting 7. So some good scores there.
Yes. Yeah. Good week. I'm having a good season this season. This is one of my best seasons so far, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm having probably one of my worst. We'll have a quick look at the top of the table, see who is leading our podcast. O'Shea Kane City, he's back up to top. I think he's been there in and out for a couple of weeks. Fletcher's Flyers, that's the first time I've seen him in the top 5 or 6. So Fletcher's Flyers obviously having a good few weeks and had 78 this week. 3 points off the lead, 624 for O'Shea and 621 for Dean. David Fox, who I think was top last week, has dropped down to 3rd, 52 points this week, 618. Then we've Collie Lamb, who was there before as well, and Patrick McHugh, Conor Ennis, James White, Tony Tam, Alan Donovan, and Jack Butler. So fair play to everybody that's in the top 10. Right, Paddy, we'll have a quick one onto this one because we're not going to spend ages on it, but we will mention it. We're going on to the news of the week. Right, Paddy. So we've 2 things that we're going to be talking about right now. First one I want to start off with is two controversial enough topics in the game of football. One being racism, and we obviously know over the last couple of years there's been a massive move towards the Black Lives Matter movement and so on, and equality in the game for everybody and stuff like that. So there's been massive strides made to get rid of racism in the game. Mm-hmm. We've seen an incident in the Liverpool versus Arsenal game between Jordan Henderson, and Gabriel. And basically what was alleged to have said was a racist comment. What is your thoughts on this, right? And bear in mind everything that's happened over the last couple of months and years with racism. What is the punishment, a suitable punishment, that if Henderson is found guilty of this so-called alleged comment, what is the punishment?
Well, first, I'd like to point out that I don't think he probably did. I think it may have been something that was misheard because he's in the game too long now, captain of Liverpool. Yeah. I just don't see it happening. Although Luis Suarez did it, but that's a different story. Yeah. But if he did do it, like, that's a 6-month ban, massive fine, like probation work to rehabilitate himself if he is a racist, all this type of stuff, like education, like he needs to be educated if it is the case, because but I just don't see it. I'd love to know what Gabriel thought he said.
Now there was one thing.
Where's Gabriel from? Sorry.
Is he Brazilian, is he?
See, I'm wondering, is it, a phrase or something like that sounds...
Yeah.
That may have...
Now, there was something shouted from the crowd, and I actually have a clip of it, shouted directly at Henderson, and I'm just going to pull up the clip here for a sec.
I hear you're a racist now, father.
So that was shouted directly at Jordan Henderson, apparently. But look, like I said, we can't confirm nor deny whether that's true or not. Well, I just want to look, Paddy. I do want to pull up something there because it stood out to me, just the reaction of the players. Now, hold on a second, see if I can get these up. But the reaction of the players around the incident and what was said, and it's just a bit weird, I think, from looking at the players' reactions on whether this was actually said or not. So that's obviously, we have Gabriel reacting to what Henderson had said to him. Sorry, you could see anything here now, so ignore the porn. But this one in particular for me was one that I thought was a little bit strange, because if you look at Firmino on that, it's almost as if he said, "Oh, fuck's sake, what you after saying?" Like that look to me just looks like it's a for fuck's sake, like come on.
Now look, that's a snapshot. He could have been
a snapshot. Yeah,
he could have been letting a fart or something there, and he's like trying to squeeze it out as well,
But it just, to me, it just seems that I'm making mountains out of molehills here. It's not even the same, is it?
Look, Xhaka looks like he was in a porno or something.
But no, that was something that I kind of was looking at when the incident was happening, because the players' reactions was a little bit weird. And then for the ref to run over to the sideline and kind of have a chat with his fourth official.
But they have to be seen to be taking this stuff seriously now. They can't just say wave it on.
Yeah, and apparently it was just he went over to have a chat about something to put on the report. So I don't know whether it's related or not. I don't know whether it was a racist thing that may have alleged being said, but that's apparently what happened. That he went over to chat.
We have 4K cameras all over the pitch now. There's going to be lip readers there that can absolutely say like be able to tell what was said. So it's a matter of time. Give it a couple of days.
Right. We'll move off that one. And Paddy, onto one that I know it's the same. It's a similar type of thing, but it's not as predominant in football. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I think I have the direct quote here, but a tweet was sent out by Iker Casillas, the former Real Madrid goalkeeper. And basically the tweet said, "I hope you respect me. I'm gay." Now, for me, I kind of, when I see that, I'm saying, all right, that's mad. And it was a bit of a direct statement, so it was a little bit suspicious straight away. But Carlos Puyol commented underneath it saying, "It's time to tell our story, Iker." So I know we laugh at it a little bit now, but is this another type of thing that, look, they're not in football, they're not going to get banned. I don't know whether an FA can find them. I don't think anybody can really find them. The only thing I think that could possibly happen is a court case. Can it even happen? Like, no. I don't know.
No,
like,
it's freedom of speech, for fucking sake. No, absolutely no. So, why they're not offending anybody there.
No.
Let's put some context around it. The reason he came out and said this was because he's had affairs on his wife and stuff like that, and he's been talked about having affairs with loads of different women. So he turned around and said, "I'm gay." Yeah. You know what I mean? As a piss take. And then Puyol said he was hacked, which is so convenient at the time he was hacked, and then fucking will you go away out of that? Will you? You're hacked. Look, a bit of a farce. Like, they'll probably wake up tomorrow. They're probably drunk when they done it, and they'll probably wake up the next morning and go, "Oh, what the fuck am I after doing?" Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
I think it's hilarious.
What I don't like is if people get offended about something like that, then people really need to grow up.
And you know who that's offending? That's not offending gay people. It's offending snowflakes on behalf of gay people.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? Like, that's not an offensive thing to a gay person. Like, it's really not.
People just want to give out about something.
Yeah. And I just think it's ridiculous how blown out of proportion it was.
Now, like, obviously, if there's people from the LGBTQ plus community that can tell us why it would be offensive to them, please write in and let us know, because maybe we're just blind to it as well, and this is an education piece that needs to be done. But I don't see how anybody could be in any way offended by what was done there. So
Conor, if you are watching, get us your message in there. No, but Paddy, look, it's one of them things, because the topic of like gay people in football is, do you remember, like, it was probably a couple of months ago or a year ago or something, there was this like, oh, there's a Premier League player and he's gay and he's going to come out and stuff, like, as if it was some sort of like Netflix series or something like that. And it was just crazy, like, to think that this type of stuff was still going on, that someone just couldn't come out and say, "Yeah, no, look, lads, I'm gay."
Well, look, let's let's call this out. I don't like you still can't blame people for not coming out as gay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
even like if you look at the racism thing, people saying like, Black Lives Matter, this doesn't matter. Like how many black managers now do you see in the top positions in football? It's like it's slowly changing, but it's very, very slowly changing. Like it's the year 2022 and it's still not changing. Can you imagine now them appointing a gay manager into the I can't see it. Should they? Absolutely they should, but I just don't see it happening.
But it's not that they should. I don't think it should make a difference.
If they're qualified enough, I don't
exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. It won't matter the color of your skin or your sexual preference, as long as you're capable of doing the job and doing it to a very high standard because you're at the highest level possible.
Absolutely.
Then absolutely no problem.
Should.
Yeah.
Will it?
Exactly.
We know the people will be stopped from getting jobs if they come out and said it, something like that, which is wrong.
Yeah, no, very wrong. So we're all for gays here at Beyond the Ball. So if you are gay, we do love you. Paddy, we're gonna move off that. So that was just a little bit of news of the week. We weren't spending too long. We're gonna start wrapping this up. We love the Malaysian Asians and the gays. We're all for you. Paddy, we're going to move on to the final little segment of the week, and that is going to be the predictions for the weekend. I wish I could speak more Malaysian and kind of chat to our Malaysian listeners, but I can't. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit at the start. Got us to number 2.
Brilliant.
I thought it was good, yeah. I mean, I'm going to listen to it back and it's not going to sound anything like it's supposed to, but look, I tried my best.
I'd like to say what you said at the start into Google Translate and see what it translates as. I hope it's not offensive.
It's literally, I read it off Google Translate.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'll try to say it again because I think I still have it.
Oh, lovely. Great. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, I don't have it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I deleted it. Sorry about that. No, don't have it. Paddy, we're going to move on. We're not going to spend too long on this. We're going to wrap this up now in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So we're just going to get kind of score predictions and a quick thought on this game. This one I like, Paddy, because Steven Gerrard's also having an absolute fucking mare at Aston Villa. And do you know what do you know what would make me the happiest man in the world? If Chelsea bashed Villa 5-0 and fucking Gerrard got sacked. That to me is like porn. That's just the best thing I could possibly see.
Am I right in saying that Gerrard had a worse start at Villa than Gary Neville had at Valencia?
It's a bold statement.
I think he did.
Stats man onto that.
I think he did.
But look, fuck it. No one's going to check it. He did have the worst fucking start.
Yeah, he did. Check this out for a stat.
Yeah. Steven Gerrard had the worst start than Gary Neville did at Aston Villa. I'm going to clip it and I'm going to put it on
Aston Villa. Gary Neville was at Valencia,
yeah, even better. Yeah, fuck it. We say what we want here at Beyond the Ball. Paddy, I think Chelsea are gonna win this one. I've never been this confident with Chelsea, but I think it'll be a tight enough game. I think Gerrard has a vengeance against Chelsea, so I'm gonna say a 2-1 win, and I'm going to say Raheem the Dream because he was once at Liverpool. So yeah, Raheem the Dream and Chelsea 2-1. What do you think?
Yeah, the exact same. I'll go for I'm going to actually go for 3-1 and Aubameyang to score.
Nice one, Paddy. On to Manchester United and Newcastle. Not an easy task for United, but then again, not many games there because you make it hard for yourselves. What's your thoughts on this one? How do you see this one going?
Varane came on for the last 5 minutes against Everton to shore things up. Delighted to see that he's fit and able to play. He'll be playing the weekend with Martinez in the middle. I see us getting a clean sheet in Old Trafford, and I see us banging in a few goals. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to United.
And scorer?
You know what? He's going to break records all over the place. I'm going to go for Anthony to score.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, to be honest with you, Paddy, I was actually thinking the same scoreline. I do have Dan Burn in my team, and I'll be getting him out immediately because I do see United kind of comfortably winning this one. I'm going to go with 3-0 myself, but I'm going to say Bruno Fernandez to score a penalty. Does he take them? I'm sure he still takes them, doesn't he?
If Ronaldo's on the pitch, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go with Fernandez to score and United to win 3-0. Last one, and what a game to finish on. Liverpool versus Manchester City. This could be this could be the, how do I say this?
Beginning of the end.
Not the beginning of the end, but this could be like the staple in the paper. I don't know if that's not even a fucking saying, is it? Like to show that Manchester City are the best team and that Liverpool can get nowhere near them. I do think this is going to be a tough game for Liverpool. I'm not going to say they're going to get bashed because Liverpool are Liverpool. They'll be able to up their game, I think, for this one. But I do see City dominating possession. Yeah, it's in Anfield. I do see City dominating midfield in particular. And I'm going to say City are going to beat them 3-1. And I'm going to say Phil Foden's going to score. Could say Haaland, but that's a bit of a cop-out because we all know he's going to score. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Phil Foden and 3-1. What do you think?
Haaland's benched for the Champions League game.
Is he, yeah?
Yeah.
You can't play that many games at that level.
So he will be like an animal ready to get at Liverpool now the weekend. He will be. He'll be like, I'd be shitting myself if I was Van Dijk. Absolutely shitting myself.
You can't wait to see that battle, by the way.
Oh, I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna make a show of them because we beat them. A lot of teams have gotten goals against them. I'm gonna say 4-0.
Jeez.
To City.
And score.
Haaland, because he's a machine.
Hat-trick.
Oh, no, I don't know. No, Foden actually as well. Foden is what a player.
What a player.
Sick, you.
I know. Right, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, and all the gays and people in Malaysia. Paddy, it's been a good old podcast. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thanks very much for having me, Collie. This is a lovely podcast it was.
A lovely little podcast.
Yeah, do you have that bit of footage from the Emirates again? Just once more. I'd love to see it.
I don't know if this is the one you're referring to, but is it this one?
I hear you're a racist now, father.
That's the one.
This is fucking brilliant. Paddy, we're gonna leave it there. I'm going to watch the second half of Chelsea bashing AC Milan. We will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. same time. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We're also on TikTok. You'll get us on Spotify if you don't want to watch us and look at our ugly faces. We're on Apple Podcasts as well. So if you are listening to us on Apple or Spotify, do hit the little 5-star rating at the start of the little menu for our podcast because it helps us.
Or 4 will do.
Give us 4. No, we don't want 4. I want 5. Don't bother if you're going to do 4. We have fucking 20 ratings or something. They're all 5, so I want all 5s. So do that, and if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well, that'd be great. So yeah, Paddy, thanks for coming on, and we'll see everybody next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
Bye.